Mother, man.
Hey, this is Chris with Murder Metal Mayhem. My name may be Chris, but I did not kill my fucking family.
Spreading faster than a case of the clap in a trailer court. Able to shatter eardrums within a 666-mile radius. A podcast more brutal than all the rest. It's Murder Metal Mayhem! Well, goddamn, these posergeists just won't leave us alone here. And Chris, I'm glad you've clarified it, though, Chris, that you're not the Chris that we're going to talk about tonight. So
yeah, I'm definitely not that Chris.
So it's Wednesday, and we're throwing down a brand new Murder Metal Mayhem, and it's not Tuesday, but we had a problem with the internet yesterday here. It was out for almost the whole day, and we're not able to do it without the internet. So
and now my computer on Wednesday wants to be a fucking bitch.
Decides to do Windows updates on Chris's laptop. So it's been chaotic here, but we're dealing. And we got episode 227 that just refuses to fucking let us fucking get it done tonight. But we are just going to say, fuck you, and we're going to keep going. All right?
Yes.
Now, I'm here at Horns High, and Chris, you're over there in McCormick Studios in Bloomington.
Burn this bitch down.
And Joey over there in the 419 Studios in Toledo.
Yes, sir.
Fuck yeah.
I am here.
And you got that 419. I saw Peggy Sue posted on Facebook that you got the 419 coaster, which I'm so fucking jealous.
Ohio.
That's so fucking rich, dude. That's great.
I don't have it yet. I just seen the picture online too. So
Is that the Toledo skyline in that, or is that Cleveland?
I didn't even look.
It's got a skyline. You got to tell me if that's like the Toledo skyline. So
it must be, because I think Toledo is like the biggest city in 419 area code.
Okay, well that would make sense.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I didn't even see.
Yeah, check it out. I was dying. All right, what shirts we got?
Hey, real quick, talking about 419. I don't know if this is 419, but Claremont County. They're over there in Ohio. What's up with this dude, fucking Joey, fucking Chad Dorman?
Recording stopped.
Fucking on the 15th.
It's okay. That was video.
Okay.
It's okay.
On the 15th of fucking this month, this fucking dude, Chad Dorman, took his fucking 3 sons, fucking like 3, 4, and 7, lined them up and executed them.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I did see that.
Wow.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
That's fucked up, man. Jesus. That's awful.
I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah, no, I can't either, dude. So, Chris, what shirt you got on over there, dude?
Fucking your mom, fucking rotten crotch. I'm sorry, Mr. Altieri. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh boy,
you got the rotten crotch shirt on.
Rotten crotch. Fucking love that, Joey. I see what you got on, but our listeners don't.
Yeah, I'm wearing the Chicago Domination Fest 4 shirt, and of course, Chicago Domination Fest 8, and probably the last one is coming up the end of July. So
fuck yeah,
showing some support.
That's awesome. And speaking of support, I bought this shirt from The Bleeding on their Bandcamp, and fucking love it. The fucking artwork from that new Monocrator album that I've been talking about. I can't stop listening to it. I've listened to other stuff and I just keep going back to it. I mean, it's brutal as fuck. So definitely digging on those guys and wanting to support it. So got the shirt. And last week, guys, we had a good one. We did old Lionel Dahmer there, the father of the infamous cannibal from Milwaukee. Mixing things up a bit, though, with that one. I really like the idea you had, Joey, about telling the story.
That was a great idea.
Yeah, from the parents' point of view, because he's been so vocal, right, with the book and all the talk shows and so forth. So it was a great idea, and I thought it was a really good episode. And then, Joey, you had the horns, and you went with a fucking UK legend, man.
Yeah, fucking talked about cancer last week, and that was pretty awesome, and kind of revitalized them for, Me, you, I saw Shane said something about it.
Yeah, dude.
That last EP kind of went under the radar, and we all were like, "Damn, that shit's fucking awesome."
I know. I bought it on their Bandcamp and fucking was totally digging on it. It's in my list of things I've been listening to. That Ball Cutter fucking EP is sick. And we threw down a new Killer Cage match and did the stupid antics that we're known for, and so that's why you guys listen. We're passing 900 to that one today. So thank you for those that checked it out. It's a little higher than usual, and we appreciate that. And if you didn't, go check it out.
I can understand why it would be a little higher, because doing that topic, not the actual killers, people are like, wait, hold on. I want to hear this dude's story.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? Like, as a parent, yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, I mean, Dahmer, I mean, the name is just, especially on the heels of that Netflix documentary, like we were talking about. Now, tonight, we are doing one hell of a despicable piece of shit for our last. Vile. Yes, vile is a good word to describe this dude. Our last piece of shit dads of June, we're going to be doing some Chris fucking Watts tonight.
Yeah.
The guy is so awful. Women across the globe just despise this dude because he's such a sleaze. The stereotypical dude that just, uses, women and treats them like shit. And, this guy just took it to the end.
Now, up to this point, we could be talking about Chris Shawback.
But
the dude we're talking about also killed his family. So
that's right. Yeah, the murder, 2018 murder of his pregnant wife and their 5 and 3-year-old daughters. Absolutely horrible. And the Netflix documentary, again with the Netflix documentary, American Murder, The Family Next Door, really got this one out there. That's where I heard about it, was from that. Right. It's a brutal one, so prepare for a sickening episode of kids getting murdered by their father. It's fucking terrible, but we're going to have Tex on with us to help us out. He actually wanted to come on and talk some Chris Watts, so he must like that story. And he's out there warming up in the bullpen. I could see the catcher is just wincing and like shaking his glove hand as he's just firing fucking 100-mile-an-hour fastballs, getting ready to get in here to Murder Metal Mayhem.
Fucking right.
Now I'm gonna throw it in the ring. I know this is way early, like a year early.
Yeah.
But when I was studying this case, I mean, the whole thing with the wife being pregnant, that's what makes it even more horrible.
Oh, it's bad.
But I couldn't help keep thinking about the Scott and Lacey Peterson case.
Right.
So
yeah.
I want to throw that in for next June, Shitty Fathers.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. As a
possibility. Yeah.
No, that's a very good possibility. Yeah, I think we should just add him. I know Lori Vallow's on the May list already.
Yeah.
So she's going to lead the way in May next year.
And I mean, by that point, there's going to be a whole nother fucking
shit
that comes out. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Is.
You know it. So speaking of text, though, I got an email last week from Mick, and he kind of like wondering if he's lost his touch with the ladies out there listening. Because, they love Tex and that Southern accent, but guys, we know the women love that Australian accent of Mick, right? So we got these two studs, so they love them both. So Mick and Tex, no worries. You guys are all cool. And I'm just hoping that Juan, the Latino dream, doesn't fucking get involved in this whole mess. So
you're gonna add a Mexican to this shit too. Fuck.
So yeah, Juan is the Latino dream. So we'll see, but all of you are equal in our eyes, of course. Now I have the horns tonight, and I'm going to do a feature on the band Withering Scorn, a little metal super group, if you will, with fucking legends, man. Sean and Glenn Drover. Both formerly of Megadeth, and then Glenn was in King Diamond and played with Testament on a tour. So just killer. Fate's Warning bass player Joe DiBiase, which is fucking killer. And then the singer Henning Boss. And I'm going to talk about them. I did the interview with Joe a few weeks ago, and we'll have plenty of metal to throw down. I got some other stuff too about Exodus and a new deal they signed, and we'll talk about that. And Joey, you got a Lost Classic for us tonight, right?
I got one for sure.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So we're going to do that in metal as always. And throwing down a new killer cage match, guys. That's where we have a list of 100 killers, 100 objects for them to fight with, a variable in the cage, and a song cranking the fuck out as they fight to the death. It's a blast, and we get our listeners to provide random numbers so we know who's fighting and what they're fighting with. And Chris, I'm seeing some familiar faces here and a new one.
Well, this new one's very familiar still.
Right, to you.
Yeah, I want to give a fucking big shout out to my mom, Ethel Shawback.
Hell
Thanks
yeah.
for throwing the numbers out there.
Yeah.
Mom. Appreciate you.
Oh, yeah, Ma back. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. And then we got Colin Rogers and Ray Mac Daddy fucking McFalls.
Man, Colin and Ray, man, just always, you know, just thanks to all you guys. And of course,
in fact, my mom listens to our stupid shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't even imagine my mom listening to this, but yeah, so it's awesome to see Ma back in there as well. So that's awesome. And then Joey, who do we got fighting tonight?
Tonight we got fucking Jim Jones, and he's going to be going up against fucking the Blood Countess Elizabeth Bathory.
That's an interesting matchup there. That
is a really fucked up matchup.
Yeah,
I gotta show. I'll get a picture of it, but I got to show you guys this fucking dope ass magnet I got at the horror convention that me and Stephanie went to. But I'll do it in the Mayhem section because it's the Jim Jones one. But
awesome,
hell yeah,
very cool, very cool. And Chris, we know, with those objects and the variable, anything's possible tonight, right?
Oh, yeah. Some shit's going to fucking happen for real.
Hell yeah. So that'll be interesting. And we're going to have a song playing while they kill each other. So it's even going to be better. And that's a listener favorite. And, of course, we do that in the Mayhem segment like always. So you got to keep on listening. Big thanks to everybody out there who does listen to us. We do appreciate it. Keep telling your friends, your grandma, whoever, listening to us. We're at 2,600 this past week, so about average, but we appreciate it very, very much. So top 10 cities listening, of course, Chicago, guys, always number one. I mean, it's not too often I don't see them at the top of the list. So thank you, Chicago. Yeah, it does.
It is the capital of Illinois.
That's correct. That's correct. Some people would think so, right?
Some people would think so, yes.
Number 2, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Number 3, Brisbane, Queensland. Number 4, I got Brisbane on there twice somehow. Adelaide, South Australia. Honolulu, Hawaii. Decatur, Illinois. And Anderson, Indiana. Okmulgee, Oklahoma. I don't know if I said that right, but that's an odd word. And then finishing up the list, Austin, Texas. So,
right.
So thank you guys. Appreciate that very much.
Wait, that ain't finishing up the list. New York City finishes the list.
Yeah, that's right. I had one on there twice, and I knew New York City. Must have been something with the delete button I hit.
Hey, look at that. My other computer just restarted again.
Oh, boy. That's wonderful. So make sure you guys check out murdermetalmayhem.com. I've been doing some updates to that and adding some sections. I got a appearances page on there now, so when we do stuff, you'll be able to see it there. And we got a lot on our plate tonight, guys. Going to the state of Colorado, see if we could track down some piece of shit that killed his fucking family just so he could be with his girlfriend. But while we're there, I'm hoping Joey doesn't get hung up in the pot fields out there in Colorado.
Oh, you know he is.
So we're going to have to corral him in, and we got to get Tex on the phone. So, Chris, what the fuck we got to do, man?
We need to not do what this stupid motherfucker did.
Eternal flux,
fuck's sake, man. Blood Blind. I love the name of that song from Cannibal Corpse, a brand new one. They got a new album coming. I didn't know was coming out called Chaos Horrific. Love that. Song is so goddamn heavy. They got a video for it too. Go check it out. You could hear fucking Rutan in that shit. It's so fucking wicked. And that album drops on September 22nd. So definitely check that out.
Who's Rutan?
Eric?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I just...
You know who that is. You featured him, right? All right, Tex.
Yes.
Well, we got you on here with us. I said you were throwing fastballs. The catcher in the bullpen's hand was fucking aching. I know you're ready to go. How you doing, dude?
Hey, it's hot down here. It's like almost 120.
Are you kidding me?
No. With the heat index, it's about 117, 118, something like that.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Gordon said something about they're even telling people down there not even to, like, try not to use their AC because of the fucking electric grid and shit might shut down. Is that true?
Yeah, they could fuck off, man.
He said they can fuck off.
Yeah, I'd be running that shit. Yeah, and that kind of heat.
Right, I ain't sweltering.
69 degrees in the house.
That's what mine's set for. That's funny.
Hell yeah.
Yep. All right.
69, dude.
69.
I think that's what ours is set at too. That's funny.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Hell yeah.
I honestly think that's what ours is set at as well.
Well, guys, it's going to be a shitty one tonight because we are talking about one of the worst, the piece of shit dads of June. We started it with Alec Murdoch, and we had Tex. We had you on for that one. That was a good one. And then Ariel Castro, just sick as fuck. Lionel Dahmer last week, not an awful dad, but just a dad of a serial killer.
I was going to say, I wouldn't throw him in as a shitty dad. Maybe not the greatest in the world.
Yeah, not the greatest, but yeah.
Probably doesn't compare to these other guys we're talking about.
Not at all. And now we're talking about the guy that killed his family in 2018 in Colorado, the Watts family murders, Mr. Chris Watts himself, an awful piece of shit. Murders his pregnant wife and their 2 young girls, some of the worst shit. And that Netflix documentary really put him in the fucking crosshairs, man. A lot of people really despise him. And I bet we get a lot of listens to this one because I think a lot of women especially, man, they just fucking hate this prick. And rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. So we're dealing with some nasty shit tonight. But Tex, what was it about this story that made you want to come on and be on Murder Metal Mayhem with us tonight?
Just what you said, man. Dude is fucking evil as shit what he did to his wife and kids, man. His wife was pregnant and shit. And, you know, this is the first one that I really paid attention to that had, like, body cam footage and police interview videos and all that stuff in the documentary. So it really interests me. So, yeah, that's why I wanted to come on.
Yeah, I agree. I really love the police body cam stuff. I've been watching a lot of that. Oh my God,
it's so good.
It's so good. Some of the
like this case,
the
dude,
DUI
like,
ones,
God.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
And this case, yeah, Chris, for sure. Now, Chris, as a father, I mean, I'm sure this case hits you hard. I mean, anybody it would, but it's just impossible for me as a father to imagine doing this. I mean, dude, I can't even wrap my arms around it, dude.
No, I like we'll get into it, like the disposal of the bodies and shit. Like you're
the disposal of the fucking body.
Disposal of the bodies.
Right.
Fucking but like we'll talk about it, obviously. If y'all don't know, you'll find out. But I'm sure most people, like 99% of the world, knows about this kid. But just heartless, dude. Like no fucking feeling at all. Like don't care to fucking get rid of this shit. Like it is some of the worst shit, and I can't even imagine doing that shit to another child,
let alone your own.
My fucking own.
Yeah, that's
like,
fucking unbelievable. Now, Joey, I think that most of our listeners, like Chris said, are going to know about this dude, but I mean, do you think that this story gets lost in a world of just fucked up news after fucked up news after fucked up news, you know?
I mean, that is that is the case. Unfortunately, there is so much and so bogged down, and people, showing interest for some, so everybody's going to do something about it. I mean, look at us, we're doing the fucking podcast, so we're in on it too. But with this case, the things that make it a little more interesting are what are going to make it remain a little more in the true crime addict's eye, I think, and ear, and that's, as you guys already said, the body cam footage. This was one of the first cases where I started watching, like, Pete gets into the behavior analysis shit, and watching Chris Watts' body language is just fucking just timeless. And the shit the fact that everything is caught on camera, the breakthrough fucking security footage by his neighbor, we'll get into that. I mean, this had everything, the fucking the affair, this had all the makings for a fucking like Hollywood fucking thriller,
right?
And it 100%. Happened right in the suburbs in Colorado. And the story is, like I said, I do agree that, I mean, there's so much going around out there that of course it's going to get lost a little bit, but I think this case will stand the test as one of the more classic ones.
I agree, and I think a lot of people definitely are going to connect with this one. And like you said, Joey, this is like made for TV, like a Lifetime movie, one of those type of docu or movie kind of based on the story, but not exact, right?
And even more importantly, this is one of those cases that, to be honest, Chris Watts, you could forget his name. It's more important to remember, the children that passed.
The children in the fucking
Oh yeah. So
for sure.
So I mean, it's a tale that you want to remember for the victims as well.
Right.
And it's also, I saw somebody, not to go really off topic, but we were talking about, we do the podcast and you got all these people to do the murderabilia, which, okay, it's a little different, but, and people look at it as if it's bad or not. But I heard somebody talking about it and I was totally agreeing with, sometimes you got to put this information out there.
Right.
And it's the worst shit, but that's what's going to save people and make them aware, and people can see signs maybe a little earlier, to avoid situations like this that happen. Right. You're not going to avoid everything, but if all this true crime shit, maybe it is a little more important for people to pay attention to, and maybe it is going to make people a little more on their feet. So I don't know.
No, I think that's point well taken, dude. Point well taken. Now, you guys know I was saying that Ariel Castro pissed me off when I found out he was a bass player, right? Because I'm a bass player. Well, this sort of gets me the same way, even though I haven't followed the NFL for years, that to see pictures of Chris Watts and his family in Pittsburgh Steelers shit, that was my team since I was a little kid. I've got a fucking Steelers tattoo on my fucking arm.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
So extra fuck you to Chris Watts. Okay. Extra fuck you. And because I got rid of most of my Steelers shit, but I kept some sentimental. I get some Mean Joe Green autograph stuff. He's my all-time favorite.
You want me to take that
Steeler.
tattoo?
Yeah. Well, I've been thinking about getting it covered up for a while because it's a shitty tat. But anyway, and another Chris to talk about tonight. So, we just can't get enough of the name Chris. And so tonight we're dealing with another one. But we didn't know a lot about Chris Watts before he was married. So I didn't see much about his life other than he was born in 1985 in North Carolina. That's where he meets his future wife. Now, this is a strange name. I've seen it spelled two different ways, one with the apostrophe, one without. But the way it's pronounced is Shanann. Okay, so it's not Shannon, it's Shanann. It's definitely strange. Okay, but the apostrophe after the A is, I think, officially how it's spelled, but like the way she signed her name was without it. So,
whatever. I work with a person named, it's spelled Andrea, but it's pronounced Andrea.
Okay.
But it's spelled the exact same. So
interesting. Yeah, I guess you could pronounce your name, but this is legit. Her name is spelled Shanann with the apostrophe after the first A. It's just different. Anyway, she was also from North Carolina, and she had her shit together. I mean, she came from a poor working class family, though, a good work ethic, and she bought her first home at age 25, had it built for, she designed it and had it built, and then lived in it for a while before flipping it. So she's very smart, very good with finances, and we're going to see this. Obviously, is not going to fit with his story of what's going on here. She went through a divorce and then later developed lupus, which is a tough fucking disease. And she worked through it and dealt with it. And, obviously at her lowest point, this fucking jackass fucking appears. So unfortunately, this is the man that, she thought she was dreaming of. And Tex, it seems like, poor Shanann would have done just perfectly well if he'd have just left her the fuck alone.
Yeah, I think so too, man. She was, I don't think she was looking for anybody.
No.
She was buying property and flipping houses and stuff. And I'm going to quote her from a video that she posted on her own Facebook.
Okay.
And here's what it said, quote, "I got a friend request from Chris on Facebook. Yeah. I was like, what the heck? I'm never going to meet him, except one thing led to another. And 8 years later, we have 2 kids. We live in Colorado, and he's the best thing that ever happened to me."
Wow.
Unquote.
Yeah.
That's fucked
wild,
up.
Man.
Yeah, that's a good one, Tex.
Yeah. That's fucked
up. That's horrible. That's absolutely horrible. It tears you up, watching like the wedding videos where her dad's, arm in arm with him and her brother is toasting to him and shit. And it's like, my God, I mean, could you imagine like having to think about, like, I said nice things about that absolute fucking, monster, just terrible.
Yeah. Had them all snowed.
Exactly. Now, Chris, they get married in 2012, but he gets a job in Colorado, right?
Yeah, fucking, what is it, Anadarko?
Anadarko or something
Anadarko.
Like yeah.
Okay, Anadarko. I can't read well, and I don't remember what they said. But, yeah, in Colorado, fucking, and they fucking dig it there. They're living it up. Probably fucking getting hired and shit because weed's legal there.
Right.
Not many other places in the country at the time.
That's true.
But yeah, so they fucking they moved and they started a family and shit. They had their first daughter, Bella, in 2013. Right. This is after, by the way, that the Shanann, what is it?
Shanann.
Jesus. I always just want to say Shannon. Even though you got it phonetically spelled out in the notes, I still want to say Shannon.
That's okay. We'll know who you're talking about.
Just think Shanana.
Yeah, Shanana.
Shanana. I say banana. It makes Courtney mad so bad all the time because I'll just be like, I'll get a banana and be like, banana. Well, fucking, yeah, this is, before they had the kids, she got a fucking job working for Thrive, which was coming up in the world. I mean, I've heard ads for them on other podcasts.
Yeah, she was like a marketing executive too. So she had a good job, but she was working from home for this company. So that's cool.
Yeah, and like I said, they got married and they had fucking Bella in 2013.
Right.
And then they had their other daughter, Celeste, who they called Cece for short, because her middle name started with C too. I think it was Celeste Catherine. But yeah, they called her Cece in 2015 and fucking
so there's the family. They seem
to have the fucking awesome fucking life going on. He's got a fucking good ass job,
nice house,
on the fucking oil rig.
In the
got
burbs.
A badass house in the fucking burbs. Fucking, they got fucking 2 fucking beautiful ass daughters. She's working hard as shit too. They fucking,
they got it going on.
They ain't got no reason for anything to fucking be bad.
But Joey, we wouldn't be doing a Murder Metal Mayhem if they just, kept having their shit together, right? What happens in 2015, dude?
They had to file for bankruptcy. They're out there in Colorado. I mean, they're both working.
Are they just buying dope or what were they buying, man? I don't know. I never heard of like where all the money was going,
I don't know, but I can only imagine. I mean, she has to know this too. She knows they filed for bankruptcy. So
Oh yeah.
I was thinking that with Chris. Now, if he's having an extramarital affair and shit, like that's got to cost a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, they're making good jack. You know,
I know that he had I'm pretty sure it was him. Had a fucking separate phone for what he was talking to his mistress on.
Right.
So I mean, that's just one of how many extra expenses that you're paying. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Plus, you're fucking trying to keep up appearances. Now, if Shannon and him are both working and they both file bankruptcy together and they know what's going on, I can only imagine that, like many other Americans, they're probably living outside their means a little bit.
Probably.
And that's why they're in debt and ended up having to file bankruptcy. I don't think it was because they were dead broke. I think it was because they just needed a little bit of help to get back on track.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But
I mean, it's legal to claim bank. You know, certainly nothing wrong with claiming bankruptcy. Some people need to do it. You know, I mean,
okay, so you got his extra fucking shit he's doing with his girl and maybe a couple other girls. Who knows? But
who knows?
If you look at if you watch the fucking footage, if you see the vehicle that she's driving, I'm not trying to knock anyone. Like, if you got money and shit, that's good. But she's driving a fucking Lexus fucking truck. And if they go up in her closet because they're checking whenever he's like, oh, I didn't know she packed anything. Fucking huge. And she's got so much goddamn clothes and everything else. I mean, so she's obviously spending money on that kind
shopping
of stuff too. So I think both of them are just trying to live kind of more extravagant lifestyle than they had whenever they were in Carolina or whatnot. But
I think you're probably right.
And like you said, filing bankruptcy isn't like a shameful thing or an abnormal thing.
Not at all.
It happens to a lot of people.
Not at all. So seemingly perfect marriage, starting to show some signs of crumbling or some trouble at least. She's still struggling with lupus, which is a tough disease. When I was getting out of the Army, there was a lady who was a sergeant who I worked with for a short time before I got out, and she was suffering from lupus. And man, that's a tough disease, man. It really takes a lot out of you. It's brutal.
Is it like, maybe I'm thinking of something else that I was listening to and checking out. Wasn't it lupus? Didn't they think that she wouldn't have kids originally anyway?
I'm not sure. I wondered about that too,
maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah, I wondered about the kid thing too. So yeah, I mean, definitely showing signs of some trouble. And she had some major drama though with Chris's family. When she went back to North Carolina, he stayed home. She took the kids to North Carolina, and his mom apparently had some ice cream at this party at the house, and the CC was allergic to nuts or something that was in it. Major drama. You know, she goes crazy. The in-laws throw her out of the house. So that's not good.
His parents didn't like her to begin with, right?
Yeah, I think there were some issues there, but this certainly didn't help. And, you know, Chris is starting to get into physical fitness and definitely getting this narcissistic, you know, personality showing up. He's all about himself. I mean, this guy's a fucking narcissist if I've ever fucking seen one. And Shannon is 15 weeks pregnant with their son, Nico. And I wonder if she named him after Nico McBrain from Iron Maiden. I don't know. That would be a good question. Chris started an extramarital affair with a woman named Nicole, which was weird, kind of like Nico, who went by Nikki.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah. Just definitely weird with the tie with the names. And then there's another Nicole in the story as well. But this one is going by Nikki. So, you know, when you got marital problems, you know, apparently cheating on your spouse, definitely good to, you know, help that situation along. Probably not a good fucking idea. And so this is just setting this thing up for a train wreck. But Shanann is in Arizona now on a business trip, and Chris and Nikki, of course, the two little lovebirds, are doing their thing and not wanting it to end. They're just saying, fuck you, not even being discreet about it. Now, Tex, I mean, we see this shit with a lot of these cases we do, the whole spouse having an affair and then, you know, wanting to kill the other. What is the deal, dude?
Man, I don't know. Like, dude, if you don't like the life you have and the people that are in it,
yeah,
be honest with them and just fucking leave, dude. Divorce is there for a reason.
I mean, it would suck, and I'm sure there's a lot of drama with that, but you're not going to be in a 6x9 fucking cell looking at you on the other side of the bars, you know?
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, I just can't believe, you know, how he thought he was going to get away with it, what he ultimately did and shit. It just doesn't make any sense logically, you know? I don't know.
No, it's fucked up.
I'm at a loss.
It is. And my wife says that all the time about, like, just get the divorce. Like, why do you got to kill them, you know? Whether it be the man or the woman, it happens both ways. It's fucked up, you know? Just see it so much on those true crime documentaries we watch. But, you know, they're doing it for the nookie, Joey. You know how it is, you know?
Well, and true. And in this case, I feel like, you know, they did a final interview with him, the fucking, the investigators and shit, the final one that he gave to them or whatever in the prison later on, because they were trying to figure out, you know, why he did it and shit, because he never really explained that. We'll get into that in the trial. He just basically fucking cut it off, lackluster. But by the time he finally did say something about it, it kind of did clarify a little bit in my mind, maybe, that this wasn't really a premeditated thing, in my opinion. This is all just my speculation. I don't think it was a premeditated thing at all. I think that he just fucking ended up so fucking pissed off at the situation that he was in at the moment and ended up, you know, killing her. And then the kids were there and saw what happened. And he talks about this. We'll talk about it later. It's fucking creepy as fuck. That last interview is like the most fucking heartless shit. But anyway, fucking, to me, I don't think that it was a premeditated thing. I think that it was a fucking spur of the moment, spontaneous thing. So in that situation, maybe they were looking to try to get a divorce in some fucking aspect, but it wasn't like right at that moment. So it is easy for us to be like, hey, why didn't you just get a divorce? But in that situation, maybe they weren't quite ready. And that fucking, that terrible fucking situation happened, and then it was over with. So.
Right. So I can't just, you know, I can't imagine doing this shit, especially now with the way these investigations go. I mean, with fucking DNA, this high-tech forensic shit. I mean, goddamn, I don't know how you get away with anything. The police have so many weapons at their disposal, you know, and that's great. I'm all for it. But I don't know how anybody gets away with shit. I mean, we saw in the Murdoch case, your phone literally tracking every step you take, your fucking car recording when you hit the fucking brake, when you fart too loud, you know, when you turn Goremonger on, you know, whatever. So, I mean, it's crazy that it's that much, you know, and then fucking cameras are everywhere. And we're going to talk about that with this case, which is interesting.
Now, how about this, though? You take away those fucking technologies and those weapons the cops have, and then it fucking puts you back in the primitive. And I saw that fucking happen this week. It was crazy because I don't know if you guys know who Julian Sands was. He played Warlock. And But he had gone hiking out in fucking L.A. in January and fucking never came back, and he had been missing, and they just found the remains that they fucking identified as him. Shit. But so he didn't have his phone, wasn't working, so they couldn't pin him for that, and he was out there in those trails where there wasn't cameras, like one of the only spots in the world that you can't be seen, and that's why they couldn't find him. But anyone else can track every fucking step, everything. Wow. So technology, like that's the difference right there. It's crazy.
It is crazy. It really is. So, you know, the fact that this shit happened in 2018, you know, this guy should have known better, but I think just being a narcissist, he figured he was going to outsmart everybody, but he was just sloppy as fuck, without a doubt. Now, Chris, it's the early morning, August 13th, 2018. And what happens with this situation?
Here's the other Nicole in the story.
Right.
The mistress Nicole. Shanann's friend Nicole.
Yeah. So she's got a friend Nicole, spelled different, but the same name. Yeah.
Right. Actually, it's more like Nico than the other Nicole.
Right.
But anyway, like they're on a business trip in Arizona and shit. So they get back and Nicole drops Shannon off. Sorry, Shannon.
Shannon.
Yeah. I'm dumb as fuck. But she drops her off, but she said she wasn't feeling good the night before. So like the next day, Nicole tries to call her, but she never answers. So she's maybe thinking something's wrong with her pregnancy or whatever. But then she goes to the house to check. The car's in the driveway. Nobody's answering the door and everything. So they call the cops. And
they called Chris first.
Oh yeah, they called Chris first. They said he's 5 minutes away, and they waited around, right. And he never fucking showed up.
Yeah, so once they said that they were going to call the cops, he was like, "Well, hold on, don't do that. I'm headed back."
Right.
Yeah, heading back. So yeah, then they call the fucking. So they ended up calling the cops. Cops show up, and you can see the body cam footage.
Yeah,
and I watched that whole body cam footage. Shit, I was like, God damn,
it's fascinating.
But, yeah, they show up and they're like knocking on the door. They can't go in because they ain't got a warrant. They don't see no sign of fucking anything going on.
Right, but once Chris gets there, they can go in.
Yeah, once Chris gets there, though. He fucking jumps out his truck, doesn't even run up to the door of the house to unlock it, just like opens up the fucking back door of his truck, gets something out, opens up the big garage door, walks in the house, and he's in the house by himself for like a minute something.
Yeah.
Finally lets cops in, and then after that, his fucking whole demeanor is ridiculous. He's like on his phone constantly,
right?
Not even acting like anything's wrong with his fucking wife and kids.
Right.
So yeah, it gets nuts, dude.
Yeah, definitely, dude. So while she's in North Carolina with the girls, though, he was with his girlfriend, Nikki. They met at work, apparently. He told her he was going through a divorce, but never mentioned his wife was pregnant with his child. And so Shanann definitely
not going through a divorce.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of talking, but
yeah, he told, but you know, he was making it seem like it was a done deal, but he hadn't even said anything to her yet. So Shanann definitely knew something was up when he wasn't affectionate toward her after she had been gone for 5 weeks. And there's lots of text you can see if you watch the documentary of her and Nicole going back and forth. And she's, you know, pretty upset that he's just like totally ignoring her. And she told the police all about that, Nicole did. So they knew something was up between them. And of course, he's lying to the cops about this affair, which they figured out. So apparently he called their school to unenroll the kids before the murders even happened.
Tell me that's not.
That's fucked
Is that
up.
not? Okay, you know how you talked earlier about you don't really think it was premeditation, Cashman. What I feel would like make it premeditation, like fuck it, the kids are gone, or you're planning on just killing her and bouncing with the kids.
Yeah.
So either way,
or you were just fucking planning on taking the kids and bouncing yourself and not killing anyone in the first place.
Not killing anyone.
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with that.
He never said. That's the whole thing.
It is certainly ominous, though, right before you kill them, that you unenrolled them in school. So you wonder if there is a premeditation.
No, it is.
But you guys are valid in your points that it could have been that he was just going to leave with the kids and they wouldn't be going to that school anymore. So who knows?
Or maybe he was smart and fucking didn't want his kids in the shitty ass school system as it is now anyway.
It's possible. It's possible.
Homeschool and murder.
Yeah, I don't want my kids brainwashed. Fuck that. Get them out of there.
So Joey, Chris has been home with the girls. We said Bella age 5, CC age 3.
Yeah.
And what's going on here, man? He's got the girl. She's down in Arizona on this business trip.
Yeah. You know, the next day, you know, Shanann, she isn't there for OBGYN or whatever. the OBGYN. OGBYN fucking appointment. And I mean, she was there for fucking everything that she did. She was very precise and on time. Plus, she was always on fucking social media, and fucking no one had been hearing from her the whole time. Her friend's calling, don't fucking hear nothing. So, I mean, obviously they knew something was going on.
Right.
That's the whole reason that they even, I think it was her and her husband went over to the Watts house in the first place, because they were like, you know, we got to do this. So then they called the welfare check-in. I mean, that's, you know that something's fucking up whenever this is happening. And when he comes back, Chris's whole explanation is that whenever he talked to her that morning, she said that she was going to take the kids over to another friend's for a play date.
Right.
And that's where she was going to be that day. So he was like, well, that's where she's supposed to be at. But of course, when the friend shows up, her car's in the garage, the shoes that she wore all the fucking time were right there in front of the door. She could see them through the fucking window. So she knew that something was up. And then once the cops got inside, they found even fucking worse shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phone was stuck down in the couch and shit.
That's right. Yeah. Because she was, as most everybody is, you know, they got their phone with them all the time. And
all
she's
her
like,
medicine was sitting in her purse on the fucking counter.
That's right. Yeah. I forgot about the purse and the medicine and all this stuff. I mean, it's just crazy. So, you know, her friend Nicole really got the ball rolling with the police, as Chris mentioned. And that body cam footage is really fascinating to watch, because you can really see it in real time, you know, what those cops are seeing when they show up on these cases like this. And a lot of that stuff is really big in court, you know, to make sure that they're following proper procedure and all of that. So I think it's great for accountability, and it's also great as a consumer of true crime to be able to see that kind of stuff that we've never been able to see before. I mean, it's just really, really cool. Yeah. Now, Chris is playing dumb. He's acting all surprised, like you guys are saying. You know, he's wondering if her and the girls are just out gallivanting around, or maybe they were abducted. He really doesn't know. He just seems to be very indifferent about it. Doesn't seem like he gives a fuck, like Chris is saying, looking at his phone, just very like whatever about the whole thing. Shanann's family's obviously freaking the fuck out. What were you going to say, Chris?
I was just saying that's fucked up that like person can do that and think that nobody's going to notice. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it is. It's so crazy, man. But her family.
I spilled my beer. Fuck.
Oh boy.
Guess I got to get a new one. No, that was his attitude, is what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, he didn't give a fuck, man.
Got to get a new one.
Yeah, and her family's freaking out.
I did not spill my beer this time, though, Cashford. Stop.
Right. And who's he texting while he's in the middle of this fucking body cam footage?
Right, Nikki.
His girlfriend. Like, what the fuck?
It is. It's so fucked up. And the police are obviously skeptical as hell. I mean, this guy is showing all the signs of deception. His calm and cool demeanor at the time, you know, when any husband, father of two with a pregnant wife would be absolutely fucking freaking out. His body language is definitely not portraying him as any sort of worried husband or father. I mean, he's smiling, he's all chill, very pompous. And, but as a spouse, I mean, we all know he's the obvious, you know, suspect. I mean, that
always 100%. That's number one suspect.
So, I mean, they're going to look at you like with a fine tooth comb. And so they got their crosshairs on this dude right out of the box. Now, Tex, I know you watched a lot of this stuff on him. What did you think about the way he acted when he was being interviewed, whether it be with the police or with the news?
Well, he was like preoccupied a lot, like Joey said, with his phone, looking around for stuff, crossing his arms and legs, you know, creating a barrier to the interviewer, not making eye contact, and just being like you said, like really cool, calm, and collected. And somebody with their family members missing like that, like you said, I think they would be freaking out and shit. So.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I love seeing all that body camera footage and the police interview footage and stuff like that. Yeah, he was acting way too casual.
Yeah, agreed.
Very deceptive.
Very, very deceptive. Yeah, the body language guys say that the the arms wrapped around, like you said, a barrier, and then also like a self-soothing gesture when you're stressed, you know. So that stuff just really, really fascinating. Now, Chris, the police show up at the house and he lets them search the house, right? I mean, we were talking about this.
He goes with them and he just lets them go about their business. He's like fucking Lorraine Bracco and Goodfellas when the fucking cops come in.
She doesn't spit on the floor like Mickey. She lets them go.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go. Goodfellas references again. What the fuck?
Always.
But anyway, fucking like we were talking about, he's on his phone the entire time, and they're just coming up. And the only thing that he found missing in the house was the girl. And in the video, the body cam video, he's like, "Oh, the blankies are here." Like he's like, "Oh, the girl." Like he just like makes everything feel like he's worried about these kids because he's trying to call the blankets like blankies, like the girls call them.
Right.
Like,
kind of like Alec Murdaugh was calling Paul Pawpaw and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Same type of thing.
But then he fucking goes in the bathroom and fucking like while they're looking, and Nikki's ring is there.
Yeah, Shanann's ring is at the bedside.
Shanann's ring is like, yeah, he comes out. And in the video, the way he's holding it, he's like, I don't even want to fucking touch this thing, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I almost wonder if he did that to make the police think she left him, you know, took the kids and left.
That's 100% why.
You know, here's your ring, fuck you, I'm out type of thing, you know.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's what I wonder, but I don't know. Right. I don't know.
He was putting on the sad face there for that.
He was.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that made things look even more suspicious, if Shanann had left on her own, obviously she would have taken these things we've been talking about, the purse, keys, her phone, the medicine, and she was, you know, a good mother. And so this looks very suspicious. She would not have left that stuff behind and taken the kids.
Oh, definitely.
And like we said, her car is still there. Her shoes are there. I mean, it's absurd. It's just not,
like the home video,
just doesn't make any sense.
The home video footage of them, like just like before the murders, like with her and the kids running around.
Right.
And thinking of this fucking story, dude, and you see that those video footage of them just at parties or just hanging out playing as a mother and children. It's kind of heartbreaking.
It is, dude. It's terrible.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, it's a really sad story, man. It really is. So, Joe, even though they found her cell phone in the cushions there, that's pretty odd. I mean, she's not going to leave her phone behind, dude.
No, all of her shit, like we said, medicine, purse, all that. I mean, the phone, definitely not. As I said earlier, she was very, very active on social media, and
right.
So it's just, it didn't even make any kind of sense. They fucking, you know, they said the one thing that fucking the cops noticed, because they're walking through and they're like, man, these are some really organized people. Yeah. And they get up to the fucking bedroom, the wedding ring, like Chris was saying, is up there. And the only thing they saw that was fucking out of place was the bed sheet. The top sheet was missing on the bed, which they thought was strange, because everything else in the house was fucking completely organized and pristine, except for that one fucking little thing, which actually turned out to be a big thing later on because they find it. But no, it's crazy like that. And like we said, you could watch the walkthrough with the body cam, so it's cool as you're seeing this as they're seeing it.
Yeah,
too, so.
Yeah, it's super cool, man. So things are starting to ramp up. The FBI is now involved in this case. You got the Colorado Bureau of Investigation as well. And Tex, I know you've been involved in this kind of stuff before, but how do things mobilize? How does it play out when something like this happens?
Yeah, when it comes to like prison escapes and stuff, things happen like rapidly, especially at the onset of the incident. They set up a command post and they get all the assets that you're going to need. Like with the Lopez escape last year, to be honest, from getting the initial information to getting there on scene and setting up the command post, deploying assets, I thought it went pretty well during that escape. Communication with other agencies like local, county, state, and federal, pretty fluid. I was impressed with the teamwork. throughout the entire ordeal. I mean,
you were out
as
there for a
as we
while.
know,
How many days were you out there, dude?
I was out there for 10 days straight, and then I got a couple of days at home, and then I went back for a couple of days.
Wow.
But it didn't turn out like we wanted, obviously, at all. But
Right.
the efforts of everyone involved shouldn't go discounted. So yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sure this was similar. You've got just people, making this happen. No money is no object. Just get it fucking done, and set up the task force and all that kind of stuff. I just think that's really interesting. Now, Chris is telling the cops that the last time he saw her, it was 5:15 a.m. She got home at 1:45 a.m. from her trip. He gets up at 5:15, goes to work. He said that's the last time he's seen her. He's given interviews to the local and national media out in front of his house, like we said, acting all fucking suspicious, asking for help to locate the family, that whole bullshit. Whenever I hear that, I always think of that fucking, the one with the kids and that drowned and that she put, Susan Smith.
Oh,
I think of that bitch, how she was pleading and you knew damn well she was lying.
Andrea Yates. I
don't think she did it like a media plea though. She was had the postpartum.
Oh yeah, Susan Smith. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Susan Smith though. I know we did that case.
I remember.
It's horrible,
like,
man.
Black dudes took my fucking kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. She was racist as shit.
Yeah, and people act differently under stress, but this guy, really with the body language experts, they go crazy with this dude. Lots of deception. We talked about the self-soothing gesture with the way he wraps his arms around himself. Does that multiple times, but this would be very common in stress. But, if he wasn't guilty and was really worried about them, he might do the same thing in that, he's worried, so he's doing the self-soothing. So sometimes, the body language stuff can go both ways, but it's all part of a puzzle that helps these police officers and interrogators get to the truth. That's really what you're trying to get to. Now, Chris, how many times do we see this kind of bullshit, though? The grieving parent, the Susan Smith. I mean, it just makes you furious, dude.
Not like I said earlier, you're just a heartless motherfucker. You're out there trying to fucking convince everybody that I really care about these people. I need to find them. And when you're talking to everybody, I just wish they were home. I just wish. And sometimes I think about it like maybe in their head they're fucked up and they know they killed them, but they really do wish they were home because God damn it, why did I do that? And a lot of times it's probably because they don't want to go to prison.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, when they're fucking on TV,
pleading,
on the news, whatever, and they're just like, "Hey," they're just like crying. Like there's some of them with like physical, actual tears, crying.
Oh yeah,
like,
I mean, some of them are good actors. So, some of them can make it look pretty believable, right? Because you want to believe it. You want to believe it, right? That the parent would be sobbing and please get my kids back. But this dude, as we know, is a fucking narcissist, and he just only cares about himself.
TV interviews constantly. Like I don't know. I wish I just want them, but his fucking demeanor about it is just like
he's like primping himself, and
he's the fucking high school baseball player that just won state.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's very cocky, very cocky. Now, Joey, he's got the masses out looking for the wife and his daughters, and they're sending fucking search parties. I mean, dogs. I mean, this is crazy, man.
Yeah, her whole family's out from fucking North Carolina, involved. They got the whole fucking community out in fucking droves, looking at this. Two fucking young girls and a pregnant mother, in their community. And, the interviews and shit and, Chris Watts is giving is just fucking crazy. And that, like Chris is saying, that the way he was talking when he gave the interviews, when he's pleading for his family to come back, was almost more like he was saying something he had to say instead of something he felt. if that makes
Right.
any sense.
No,
Yeah,
it
no,
did.
that makes
Impression I got
yeah.
too, man.
Very robotic, and it was very creepy. And of course, that people saw this because now we're in this fucking media time. They're seeing it on TV. They're fucking showing it across the fucking country on the fucking internet because everybody's seeing the story, and everybody's like, "Hold on, something's a little off about this guy." I'm not sure, but he isn't acting like you would think a dad would be acting in that situation.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier about the video would come into play here, and this is interesting. A video camera comes into play because Chris is trying to say, he last saw the wife at 5:15 a.m. on the morning they're missing, but Tex, the neighbor, comes up with some video that puts a fucking hurting on old Chris's world, dude.
I'm not
when
gonna
I
get
saw
into
that,
footage, but I'm just gonna say the
footage,
body cam
man.
footage is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. The neighbor showing his home video that, his video surveillance cameras and shit.
Right. He's got the
And then,
cops and Chris over at his house, right?
Yeah. And he's like walking them through and shit. And it's like, here's him and here's what he did at this time. And then he got done, and then Chris had something to do. And the cop was like, yeah, you go on outside while I get this guy's information. I can write it down.
Right.
So then he pulled him back in there and rewound the video and showed him, and he's like, he was acting weird, pacing back and forth, running his mouth. He never runs his mouth.
Right.
He never loads and unloads tools and shit out of his truck like he said he did.
Yeah,
And,
he never backed into the driveway. It was always on the street.
And so, that's what freaked the neighbor out. But then you can hear the cops say something like, well, put yourself in his situation. Anybody can be nervous and not know, how to act and what to do and shit. And so, yeah, that neighbor, that was my favorite part too, Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the neighbor's video caught him in the driveway, not on the street. Is that what you're saying? And that he was
he's
loading her into his truck?
Yeah, because they had some break-ins or something, or Chris said they had some break-ins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said that they stole some of his tools out of his truck before.
Okay.
He was like, oh, that was my fault because I left the truck unlocked. But he was like, so what I did is I parked my truck over here so it could be on camera so maybe I could catch these. It was all bullshit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was like he never parked in the fucking driveway. He was always on the street.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it's so classic because if you get to watch this, like you said, with the body cam, but the cops are sitting there, the neighbor puts in that fucking flash stick, they're watching the security footage, and Chris watched. He's like, oh my God, I'm so fucked. He knew it there.
Yeah, because he didn't think the camera would catch his driveway.
Yeah. And he's texting his girlfriend, his mistress, and the fucking. And the whole thing, like the fucking neighbor said later on, he was talking. Chris Watts is fucking like looking at. He's not paying attention to the video that much. He's like checking this. Man. He's like, if that was some fucking information in my missing family,
right?
I'm gonna have my eyes glued
TV.
to that shit. Yeah, and I'm gonna see what the fuck's going on. And it was just like he couldn't even fucking watch it.
No, that's fucked up.
When he fucking had that reaction too, wasn't it like basically like, okay, back into the driveway. Somebody said something about his vehicle being there, and he looked at the screen and was like, God fucking damn it.
Yeah, busted.
Basically.
So he is arrested on August 15th, 2018, only 5 days after his wife came home from her trip to Arizona. Gets fired from his job that day as well, and things are unraveling very quickly. He takes a polygraph like an idiot and fails it miserably. So the cops know that he's fucking lying. Know he did it. I just can't believe the guy didn't lawyer up right out of the box. But again, with the narcissist, he figures he's smarter than everybody else. So he doesn't need it. Yeah, he doesn't need a lawyer.
Man, that female interviewer that did the
that was great.
Shit and then interviewed her.
Dude, yes.
Man, I'd love to marry her. She is fucking awesome.
Ain't you married, bro?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, she was really cool, man. She did a great job with that, for sure, with that lie detector. So, the police interrogation video of him is really good. They end up using his dad to help break him, which is interesting. The father comes in while the cops are on a break so he can console his son because Chris asked for him. And then his father, gets him to confess, which is crazy. He ends up telling the police everything, that he says happened because his first version of the story wasn't exactly true, Chris. What was the deal with that, man?
True at all. Well, getting his dad to come in.
Well, his dad came in, but I mean, he's claiming that at first that it was Shanann killed the girls.
Oh yeah, she said he got mad because they were talking about getting divorced and she was pissed off or whatever. So she fucking killed the girls and that made him mad.
And he killed her.
That's why he killed her and he just decided to, again, disposal of the bodies.
Exactly. Everybody take a drink.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely not true.
No, not at all.
These motherfuckers, dude.
Exactly.
I'm sorry I said motherfuckers. Hell, Jesus, praise Satan.
Now, Joey, I mean, I'm sure that it had to be tough on his dad, to be the one to get him to confess. But I mean, I'm sure he's obviously distraught. I mean, he's lost 2 granddaughters and a daughter-in-law, I don't know if he liked her or not. I know the mother didn't, but I don't know about him. And then, he's got a grandson coming. I mean, that's got to be a tough deal for him, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's fucking, you got to stand by your son or do you not stand by your son? You just lost everything you just said is fucking
Lionel Dahmer.
Right there. Yeah. Now they're fucking, if you watch the interrogation video with him, and if you don't catch it the first time, watch it again. Before he ever fucking confesses anything or says anything, the investigator says, well, did she do something so that you had to do something to her? Did she do something to the kids? So she planted that in his head. So by the time he realizes, hey, I'm fucked, I'm not getting out of this anyway. How am I going to make myself look as good as I can? That's whenever he was like, well, let me tell my dad. His dad came in and he came with that almost exact story. He said, damn, she killed the kids. So I freaked out and did, and it was almost
right. Like, that's actually part of a thing called the Reed technique. When they do interrogations, they use the Reed technique and they offer them kind of an out that makes it less, awful looking, tries to give them a lifeline and they take it. And then of course they get closer to the truth. Sure. He did take it. And that's true. When they're backed in a corner and you offer them a lifeline, they're going to take it. And then you're just that much closer to getting the true story here.
In the actual, it's like,
it's very fascinating. I bought a book on that Reed technique and it's really fascinating stuff.
And with that situation there, he had it was a shitty opportunity and fucking very fucking flimsy. But to him, for the second, he could be like, look, I killed her dad, but I didn't kill my kids. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
I didn't kill your grandchildren.
Right. So
I didn't kill your.
So he confessed to the crime, but he still didn't make himself look the worst, I guess.
Exactly. So, I'm glad the dad was able to get this thing to happen. But, he tells a tale about, how eventually it gets to the truth that he killed the girls by putting a blanket over them, their blanket, the thing that you were calling the blankie, that's fucked up. Got the 2 kids on either side of him. He puts the fucking blanket over them. And I think he killed the younger one first. And then the older one, I'm not sure, but oh my God.
Now,
I mean, that's fucked up.
This is what Chris Watts said in his last interview. He was saying that he had the body of the mother in the back of the truck, both daughters in the back with her. He didn't want them to see her, so he put a fucking garbage bag over her. One of the kids asked, is mommy okay? And he was like, yeah, she's fine. She's going to be fine. He took them out, and whenever they got to the oil wells, the one daughter was with him when he brought the first one up there, put the blanket over her nose.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and that is so the last one to die, the youngest, she saw basically the dead mother and her sister. Everything. Yeah, that is fucking terrifying.
That's fucking horrible, man. Jesus.
Like, Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, it's so bad. I mean, what a horrible way for these little girls to die. I mean, being strangled by their own father. Jesus. That's just so
I know
fucked
we
up.
make jokes when we do this shit, but this
is really bad. I mean, this is genuinely horrible. It is. It's absolutely horrible.
And I wish that our listeners could see, but Tex, his background he's using for our Zoom
Dude, the background
is the picture that the cops gave to Chris Watts during the interview, where he wrote where his daughters were at by simply putting a B and a C on each well. But
Bella and Cece,
yeah. So I mean, it's just such a horrible story. And Tex, I think the thing that really gets people even madder, as we've been alluding to, the way he disposed of these girls. I mean, tell us about it. It's so terrible, dude.
Yeah, like my background, like Joey was saying, my background, I know the listeners can't see it, but as you can see right here, that's where Shanann is buried.
Right.
With that sheet. And then up here in the oil tanks, where you can see a B and a C there.
Right.
He took them both up there, and he disposed of Cece first. He strangled her with that blanket, and then there was like an 8-inch.
8 inches, bro.
Yeah, 8-inch hole or
like a hatch
cap. Yeah, a hatch up there. He opened that, and after he strangled her, stuffed her ass down in there.
Dude.
And that's where she ended up. And then he, like y'all were saying, Bella was like, "Are you going to do that to me too?" And I don't know what he said to her, but he smothered her too in that blanket and took her body over the berm and up to the other oil tank and stuffed her down in there too. So,
and that was like crude. Is that like crude oil in there? Is that?
Yeah, it's like fresh, pumped right out of the ground.
Oh wow!
Just storage tank.
So fucking horrible.
I don't know how full or anything they were.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the older girl had like abrasions on her butt and her sides from him shoving her through that small hole.
Yeah, and there was hair and,
That's right. Yeah, her hair was found on that access hatch. I mean, that's just that's some brutal shit there. I mean, honestly.
Sick.
And he tells the police that it was Shanann, like we said, that killed the girls, and then eventually it gets to the truth that he's the one that did it. So, this is just unbelievable that this guy is so narcissistic that he thinks these cops are going to believe that his wife did this just to spite him because she's so distraught over him leaving her. It's fucking ridiculous. Now, Chris, he adds to this fucking stupid story and that he killed Shanann in rage like we were talking about, but we've been saying these cops are these guys are well trained and they know that this guy's full of shit, man.
Look, I'm not one of these detectives that actually do this for a living, but me watching the fucking videos, I'm like, everything you're saying, you're making up on the spot. You're trying to cover you can tell.
Right.
So the cops know. They're just like straight up like, bro, you gotta tell us where your fucking kids are. And you would have to think about like being a detective like that, doing that interrogation like
hours.
But they already know they're not gonna find people alive.
Right.
Like, you did something terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's got to be a very frustrating feeling when he's playing games with you and not giving you the right answers, And a lot of these guys, that's the card they hold. They know the truth and they love fucking with the cops and making them think they're onto something and they're not. And this guy,
It would fucking be, I ain't gonna lie, it'd be shitty as a detective in something like this as that. I'm not saying all cops are bad. I'm not saying all cops are good. But it would be shitty to be in this situation. Like, I just need you to tell me where the fuck these kids are.
Exactly. Joey, what did they wind up having to do to get them out of those tanks, man?
They hired a crew, I know that, to excavate them out basically, and they had to pull them back up through the hatch, which is fucking horrible. And they said, yeah, like Tex was saying, there's some water in there, it's oil and water, but I mean that's a terrible fucking what the fuck? I mean, dude, what's that? I don't know what that does to the body. And they weren't in there that long, I guess, but still though,
coated in that fucking crude oil. Yeah. I mean, what a horrible, despicable way to handle that, just fucking makes me sick, man. It really does.
The school enrollment thing definitely does make me, question shit. But this is another thing that makes me think that it was kind of spontaneous, as he didn't know what the fuck he was doing, because he fucking took the bodies out to the place where he worked. Like that, they're not going to go look there.
Exactly.
He just didn't know anywhere else in the fucking area because he'd fucking, never been
hold on. But there's another thing that makes me bring up premeditation. Because didn't he tell one of his coworkers, "Oh, I got to go out there anyway"? He covered a coworker's job, I think.
Oh, I think you're right.
Oh, okay, nice.
I think you're right.
Yeah, he was talking about covering a coworker's job,
right?
So he fucking drove out there.
So he had a reason to be out there.
Yeah,
yeah, he had
yeah. Interesting. And then they find
the only thing I was saying that as we'll get to, the only reason that we're even questioning all this and having all these theories and shit is because he fucking completely never told anything after he
shut the fuck
down.
So it's all speculation. So it gives us a lot to talk about.
It really does. It really does. Yeah. And they find Shanann's body in a shallow grave. He showed him on the picture where the grave was. Yeah. So for some reason he buried her, but he put the girls. Yeah, exactly. Puts the girls in the two drums. I mean, just absolutely fucking horrible. And so, there's not much worse than this dude. I know we say that a lot, and we've done some of these like Pedro Lopez, some of these awful motherfuckers, but this guy is so fucking bad with the way he handled this situation and what he did to those poor girls. I mean, it's just fucking despicable. It really is. And this one just seems to hit me harder than a lot of them we've done. When the police interviewed the girlfriend, Nikki, she said, he lied to her about his situation. She had no idea that Shanann was pregnant. So they know she's not involved in any of this. They knew she was telling the truth, and they just let her go, and that was that. So, she got lucky that she didn't get caught up in his bullshit. Because if she would have been involved in this somehow, she'd have been going down, obviously. Yeah. So Tex, on August 21st, he's charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, and he gets another 2 counts with the kids being under 12 years of age.
Yeah, and then plus unlawful termination of pregnancy, 3 counts of tampering with the deceased body.
Right.
Things aren't looking good for him, that's for sure.
No.
And then I just wanted to mention, too, that like around this same time, on September 1st, Shanann, Bella, and Celeste are remembered at their funeral in Pinehurst, North Carolina. And it was about an hour-and-a-half ceremony. Started out with the singing of Amazing Grace. And Chris Watts never mentioned one time during the entire funeral, which is good. And then the priest, he read a statement from Shanann's father, Frank. I guess his last name is pronounced like Ruchek.
Yeah.
He said, "You're nothing but pure love, always caring for everyone, and you'll always be Daddy's little girl."
Wow.
Yeah. So
fucking brutal. Yeah, definitely brutal stuff, man. And Chris, at first he's denied any kind of bail, but then he's given a $5 million bail. Do you know if he actually put up that 15% of that? Or did he wind up doing it in county?
Shit.
I don't even remember. Think I saw anything of him out on bail.
I didn't see anything about him.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like 15% of $5 million.
Yeah.
I don't know math. I'm bad at math. I don't math well.
And he just fucking filed bankruptcy too before that. So yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah, I didn't see anything of him being out, so I don't know. But I'm doing the math here. 15%.
Oh, nice. Some homework on the spot.
22. No, that can't be right.
Well, it's 10% of 5 million. That's like, I'm just kidding.
So anyway, this is not murder metal math. So we're going to keep going. So a lot of fucking money. An interesting fact when researching this one, though, apparently August, the most common month for a parent to murder their family. I thought this was interesting. Right before school starts. Isn't that strange? It can cause a delay in the investigation since the kids wouldn't be missed at school, but I'm not really sure if that would be a motive. I just find it very fascinating that statistics would show that that's a high increase of that happening. Now, I did look up the most infamous one that I know of, the List murders. We did that one. Love that case.
Yep.
That happened in November that year. So that one doesn't fit the August mold, but I did find that interesting. I just thought I'd mention it.
Well, you don't want to spend all that money on school clothes.
Yeah, you got school supplies.
And stuff.
Dude, I fucking hated that time of year, man, because I was fucking broke, and it's like, oh my God. I remember one year my daughter was in driver's ed, and I had to pay for a parking pass and all this shit. And it was like over $1,000, and I was like freaking the fuck out. Like, how am I going to do this? So I've been there with it, but still, yeah, this August thing is
kids.
Yeah, just very strange. Now, Joey, I did see that there was an interview with Dr. Phil with Chris's attorney. Did you see any of that or hear about that?
Yeah, that's kind of the same thing he was saying in the interview I was talking about, but that him and Shanann were arguing about the divorce and that the daughter Bella had walked in while he was on top of her strangling her.
Right.
Now he said, he fucking lied all the time or whatever else, but
everything
he said that he said that he just ended up on top of her and he didn't even fucking know what was going on.
Yeah.
I didn't know, you were talking about the bankruptcy and fucking spending money. I never saw anything about if he was doing any kind of drugs or any kind of steroids.
I wondered if he was gambling or something, maybe.
Oh,
they did. They did talk about fucking.
That you said that, Joey. We were here. I was watching one of the documentaries and the body camera video and shit. And Courtney looked at it and she's like, "Holy shit, he's on drugs." So that's what's fucked up that you mentioned that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
He might have been.
It's hard to tell, but I never saw any kind of toxicology report. But he lost a bunch of weight. He fucking acting erratically. Fucking roid rage. I don't know. It's fucking it's speculation, like I said, but it's definitely another piece.
Yeah, for sure. So, Tex, what winds up happening with old Chris, man?
Well, he ended up pleading guilty.
Right.
And that was just so the death penalty would be off the table.
Right.
I know the prosecutors and stuff, they didn't want to have anything to do with that, but
right.
And then I saw the interview with the prosecutor, and he said that Shanann's mom and her family asked for his life to be spared, so there wasn't any more death in the situation.
That's fucked up, man.
I wouldn't want to do life in prison, but that's just me.
No, me too, dude. I wouldn't want to do it either. I'd rather be executed than go through that. But I did find it amazingly graceful that she did that, because I would not have done that. I would have been like, fuck you, die, but that's me.
Yeah.
So,
I know, and for Chris Watts, I know it's a lot safer in death row than being out in the general population.
That's
and
true.
I would imagine him killing his wife and kids like that.
Right.
That
high profile.
People would be after him. Yeah. People would be after him.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. He gets 5 life sentences, 3 consecutive, 2 concurrent, without the possibility of parole. Then they tossed in the unlawful termination of pregnancy and tampering with the evidence, the bodies. So he's getting all this additional time. I think he got another almost 100 years for those 2 things. So he's not going anywhere. I watched one story about his life in prison. He's miserable. He's kept in a cell 23 hours a day in protective custody, which is, of course, basically like solitary. And a lot of these
Black Dolphin motherfuckers are just crying their eyes out about
Exactly,
it.
exactly.
Right there.
But he gets a lot of mail, which I thought was really interesting.
Damn, I wish I had that.
Yeah, he gets a lot of mail from women that fucking love him and all this bullshit. So,
we
you know
that story.
Yeah, some of it's hateful stuff, some of it's people trying to save him with Jesus, and then some are, women wanting to marry him and all this shit. And probably dudes too, who knows.
Probably dudes too, bro, and that's not a lie.
Right.
It's Pride Month.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, did you see that fucking interview with that, I thought it was funny. Like, I know this story is fucking tragic as shit, but this gay dude comes in and he's like, look, I had an affair with this dude. We were in his car and this and that, and he was fucking giving him a story. And the investigators start talking to him, and they're like, look, every single thing that you've told us has been on the news, and you haven't told us anything, you know what I'm saying? And the cop's like, so what it sounds like is you were soliciting for money, gave this dude a blowjob sitting in his car, and you might be a hooker. And the gay dude just shut up, and he was like, nope, I'm done. And he fucking ended the interview.
Wow.
It's crazy how there's people that try to, kind of cash in on the notoriety of some of these cases that are new or whatever by inserting themselves.
Yeah.
This is a little digression too, but that story about the Maddie McCann and that lady from Poland that said that she was her,
right,
and that went through that whole thing,
and
the
it was
parents
then she was not.
She wasn't. It's just like, holy fuck, people. I don't know if she did that for the publicity or did she really believe
Hard
it
to
as a
say,
possibility.
man.
But
Hard
man, it's just like, holy fuck, people cash in on that shit.
They do. And you get these women writing to these inmates like Ramirez and some of these, just unbelievable. Now, Chris, I don't know what makes women do that. I didn't know if Michael was writing to, whether it be male or female in prison, trying to find himself a love connection. Are you aware of any of that?
My brother is okay.
All right. Well, that's good. That's good. He doesn't have any prison pen pals or anything.
Maybe 3.
3? Okay. Now, Joey, I read that Chris Watts has moved to a prison in Wisconsin. Did you see that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't know if it's because the FBI got involved, so it became on a federal level that he was able to get moved out of state. Tex might have some better info on that than me, but it just seems like he must have had so much issues and drama in Colorado with people that their best move was just to get him out of there. He's going to be known anywhere he goes, but certain places are probably a little more fucking dangerous. I don't know.
Yeah, when my dad was in the Bedford Hills prison there in New York, they did a prisoner exchange with New Hampshire, and that's when Pamela Smart came to their prison. She was from New Hampshire, but it was a prisoner swap because, she had family close by or something like that. So I think they do that sort of exchange. Tex, is that true? Is that true?
They're called interstate compact transfers, and we got inmates from all over the they committed their crimes all over the United States, but we have them here in Texas.
Interesting.
And I learned a little bit of something, like looking all this shit up. But like you said, family being close is one reason they do it. The safety of the inmate, high profile cases like this one, inmates' healthcare needs and like drug rehab treatment and stuff like that is pretty much the spectrum of why they would do interstate transfers.
Interesting.
I didn't see any demographic information, but those are some of the reasons.
Yeah, that makes sense. Chris, with it being in Wisconsin, maybe we should go visit him, see if we can get a visit with Chris Watts, punch him in the face. So, a lot of publicity with this case. I mentioned that Netflix documentary. There's that 2020 special where Shanann's family was interviewed for the first time. I know they kind of shied away from the public, eye. They didn't really want to, be bothered with it. I think they did that, and that was it. 2018, though, Dr. Phil did a 4-part series on the case. I did not watch that, with body language experts and others who reported on the case. And then Dr. Oz did a show and had the neighbor that provided the video evidence on his show. So that's cool. I didn't see that either. 2021 Inside Edition reported on Chris Watts confessing in letters to a pen pal while in prison. And apparently he told this person he was giving Shanann doses of OxyContin in an effort to end her pregnancy. So that's fucked up. He also thought that Shanann, if she was not pregnant, that would have helped him see his girlfriend. So again, it's all about this dude, right? He also told a pen pal that he tried to smother the girls in their beds, but was not able to do it. So he did it later, like we said, out at the oil fields. And I think I need a fucking week off after dealing with this fucking piece of shit. So anything to add to this one, guys? Fucking Chris fucking Watts.
No.
Yeah, we're at an hour and a half, so, pretty long for an episode just on this so far. But hey, I mean, this is like Joey said, there's a lot of twists and turns in this story, and a lot of stories he was telling as they were trying to figure out the truth. So I think we did it well, for sure. I did my research with this one, watching a few different YouTube videos. The Netflix documentary I watched again, actually, this weekend. There's so much out there. I mean, it just happened a few years ago. So there's a lot if you're interested in hearing more. As Joey's pointed out, I have as well. The Behavior Panel does a really good body language analysis of this, Chris Watts. So go check their channel out on YouTube. There are books, but I haven't read any of them. I know that there are. But biography.com had a really good article that kind of summarized this very well. It helped me kind of pull it all together. So there's a lot out there if you're interested in it. Tex, always love having you on, dude. And,
Tex, good to have you.
The ladies fighting it out between you and Mick, man. Who's the sexier of the two,
Yeah, Mick, I know you're listening, man, and I know that Australian accent makes the ladies moister than an oyster.
Awesome,
hey,
awesome.
Looking forward to being in studio for my next episode, man.
Dude,
it's actually bro. My 20th episode.
Nice. Wow. That's awesome, dude. I'm so stoked. And Tex, it's going to be amazing to have you here, but we let you pick which one you wanted to do because we're doing all cults in August, and you're the first one out of the box, and you picked which one?
Heaven's Gate, man.
Fuck yeah.
I love that, dude. I love that fucking.
Strap on your Nikes, boys.
That's a fucked up story, man. So that should be a good one. And so that'll be great. The next time you're on, you'll be here. So now next week, we're going to be taking a week off, busting out a couple of bonus episodes for you guys. One that Chris and I did, which was pretty funny, the Brony Killer. Chris, that was fucking crazy. Dude, all obsessed.
There was a test before the test.
That's right. But this guy was obsessed with My Little Pony as an adult, right?
Oh my God.
And he flips the fuck out and shoots up a bunch of people at his workplace. It's horrible, man. But he was the Brony Killer. An adult male, all obsessed with My Little Ponies posters all over the wall and everything. And
then we're doing my specialty. Right?
That's right. DUIs. We did that one. We did that one, and I already sent it out to the 666 Club, so they got to check it out. And Tex, did you have a chance to listen to that?
What was that?
The DUI episode we did?
No, I haven't listened to it yet.
We've gotten a couple of good comments from the 666 Club on that one. So that one will be out next week. So next week, you're going to get 2 bonus episodes, the Brony Killer and then the DUI, which is Joey, me, and Chris. We did the DUI one last week, so that was fun. All right, so after that break, then we're busting out some Henry Hill, one I've wanted to do. We talk about Goodfellas a lot. You know, the character Ray Liotta plays in Goodfellas, Henry Hill, he had a hell of a life after that. So after all that chaos, he did
just
some
kept
other
on
crazy
going.
shit, bank robberies and drugs, and it's crazy. So it's going to be a good one. I'm anxious to do it. And so we'll do that one the week after next. So we got a lot of murder and metal coming up in the month of June, going into July. We're just fucking not stopping at all. Joey, any page a day for us?
I got one. It's a quick one. It's good. Thanks, Page Day. They were talking about some survivors, and we always like those stories, of course.
Oh,
and what they went on to do after they, survived their ordeal. And the first one the first one they were talking about is Elizabeth Smart. Of course, she was abducted from her Salt Lake City home and held captive for 9 months. That's a fucking crazy story that we'll do, I'm sure, one day.
I want to do that story.
Yeah. But anyway, so she went on and she earned a degree in harp performance and became a news commentator and child safety activist. So good for Elizabeth Smart. Of course, she wrote some books too.
Yeah.
Now, the second one is Mary Vincent. Now, we brought her up before. She survived a brutal attack where both of her arms were amputated and got thrown down the pit.
We need to do this.
So she does art and she focuses on chalk pastel portraits, and she also designs her own prosthetics and is a victim's advocate. So good for Mary Vincent.
Yeah.
The third one is Kelly Heron. Heron fought off an attacker in a Seattle bathroom. She had stopped in during a run, and since then she developed Run Buddy, which is a safety app for runners, hikers, and bikers. So that's pretty cool.
Interesting.
Now
what if your Run Buddy is one of those people?
Oh, that's true. Yep. Your app is one of those people. That's AI shit. So the next one they're talking about, we just did Castro. So Amanda Berry, she was in prison, of course, by Castro for 10 years. She now designs knitted toys and knitting patterns for her company Fluff and Fuzz. So that's cool. Yeah. And the last one they're talking about is Elizabeth Shoaf. Shoaf was kept in a bunker for 10 days before she escaped, and she went on to finish high school and college, and she now works as a dental assistant. Wow. So some survivor stories.
Fuck yeah, dude. Page a day.
Survivor stories are badass.
Yeah, page a day, good stuff. All right, well, we have done more than our fair share of murdering tonight, so I think we need to talk about some fucking heavy metal. So, Tex, what the fuck do we need to do?
Let's get our metal on, boys.
Just because CK has passed on, he's not done educating the masses. CK will forever be the great metal motherfucker. We're here to stomp poser ass and eradicate the planet of their kind. CK has passed the torch to us, and we will forge the fuck on. In CK's name, we will bestow metal knowledge upon all of you. All right, the metal segment, that's where we're at. And of course, always in the memory of Chris Kovac's beloved CK.
Hell yeah.
The great metal motherfucker.
CK, the great metal motherfucker.
That's right. And he's trying to keep these poser guys away, but this week, it's been horrible. So CCK, he's going to get back in the swing here. I got the horns tonight, and I'm holding them up because I'm ready to talk some fucking metal with you guys tonight, and hoping to turn some people onto a band you may not know about. And I picked the band Withering Scorn. I love that name. Now, this is a band that started in the middle of the pandemic, 2020, and I did a recent interview with their bass player, Joe DiBiase. Now, I've known Joe for a really long time. He is the original bass player in Fate's Warning. He was there 14 years. I knew him back in 85, all those guys back in 85, 86. Most metalheads listening are going to know the name Sean Drover and Glenn Drover. They were both in Megadeth. Sean was the drummer for 10 years. Glenn was the guitarist in Megadeth for a couple of years, and also in King Diamond for a while, and toured with Testament.
Out there.
Yeah, so I mean, he's done a lot of stuff beyond that as well. He's also into recording and producing music, and he's doing that in his studio up there in Ontario, Canada. And Joe DiBiase knew those guys, so they're calling him, to get him on bass. And then they also grabbed up Henning Basse, or Bass, a German singer who's known for his work with bands like Firewind and Metallum. He's also sang in a couple of Glenn Drover's solo project, which is really good. If you want to check something out that's really good, Walls of Blood, Glenn Drover's side project. He's got different singers on each song, and he's got Chuck Billy from Testament. He's got the dude Todd LaTorre from Queensryche. He's got some really good singers on there, but Henning Bass is one of them, the German singer who's now in Withering Scorn. So really good stuff. The new album drops July 7th, and it's called Prophets of Demise. So it's coming out here in a couple weeks. Straight up metal, man. It's a mix. I've heard 3 of the songs so far. Reminds me a little bit musically of King Diamond, not the singing, but the music. But the singer has a strong mid-range, but he can get up there from time to time. But really good mid-range singer. All these musicians are fucking unbelievable. So it's really good stuff. Glenn did an amazing job recording it, and the production's great. The album art is really good. So it is so worth checking out. Withering Scorn, Prophets of Demise, July 7th. So now I'm going to play you guys. Yeah, I'm going to play you guys 6 minutes of the interview that I did with Joe. The whole interview will be available the day after this one comes out as a bonus episode, so you can hear all of it. We get into a lot of cool conversations. We talk about some Fates Warning stuff. We talk about his gear a little bit. We talk a lot about Withering Scorn and how it was working with the Drover brothers there in that project. And, it shines through that we've known each other for a long time. He's a super cool dude. His son, Joey, is a drummer. He's the drummer for Jasta, for Jamie Jasta's band.
Jamie Jasta's band, yeah.
He's in like 2 or 3 different bands. His son, Joey, really, really good drummer. So good family. So let's check this out. I'll play this little interview clip, about 6 minutes of that. Shows or some fests or something.
That's what I can see. I mean, unless the album sells way more than any of us think and it demands a tour, then we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But I can envision, like I said, some, one-offs, some festival shows in Europe. And like I was saying before we got cut off, even in the States, that seems to be the new way of touring too. More festivals are popping up, and bands are doing weekend pop-ups here and there. So I can envision something like that.
That's cool. Now, what was it like, Joe, doing those Fates Warning, Awaken the Guardian shows? I mean, those had to have been unbelievable. And I've got the book that came out with it and the DVD and all that, but that had to be pretty cool to be a part of that after all these years. It's such an iconic album.
It was very cool. Luckily, we all still get along really well.
That's good.
I still communicate with most of those guys still, on a daily basis, but weekly, monthly. We always kept in touch. There was never really any hard feelings.
That's good. How's Steve doing?
Steve, I haven't talked to Steve in a while. He texted me on April 30th, May 1st, because
Walpurgis Night, of course. Yep, I
so
emailed Jim every year on that date and tell him happy Walpurgis Night. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Steve gave me a text and the same thing. In fact, today, on the day of recording this, is Steve's birthday, I believe. So,
oh, shit.
Happy birthday, Steve, if you happen to see this.
Hell yeah.
It'll be happy birthday when you see it. But
yeah, I contacted him on Facebook a couple years ago, and he responded, and it was cool. But, it's been a really long time.
Not sure what he's up to. I think he's had some health problems and so
That's too
forth.
bad.
So I don't know how active he is musically these days. But
right.
But the project, getting that together was kind of tough because some of us hadn't been active musically at that time, so we had to shake some rust off.
I'm sure.
And I had to go back and listen to some of these songs because
some of these
songs, and I can't tell you how long.
Right.
Basically, we learned them, which was, kind of a fun process.
Oh, I'm sure. You're like, hell, I played it like this? I don't remember this, right?
Yeah. I went back looking at old videos. Oh, yeah, that's what I did. But it came back fairly easy. And then when we all 5 of us got back together, it was like magic. It was, this is great.
Yeah. Well, I was almost your understudy. You had a death in the family. Jim called me up one night and he's like, hey, Joe can't do this show. And we're trying to get Joey Vera over here to do it. But if that falls through, can you do it? And I'm like, yeah, I guess. I'm like, holy shit. It was like a big deal. And I was almost relieved Joey could do it. But at the same time, now, of course, I look back on it. That would have been so cool to be. It was at the Chance in Poughkeepsie, I think was the show. But yeah, I
think the Toad's Flesh show in New Haven, too.
Yeah, I think you're right. So your son, Joey, another Joey, my son is named Joey as well. Your son, Joey, is a drummer and is involved in a couple different bands. What's the latest with him, man?
Well, he's
a hell of a drummer, man.
He's a really good drummer. His main thing right now is his own band, which is called Limbs, Lambs, Limbs, and they're actually getting ready to hit the road next week. Actually, they'll be out for the whole rest of 2023 on this long tour. A couple breaks here and there, but that's his main thing. They're kind of I guess a metalcore band, you'd call it. Hardcore metalcore band, and they're really good. A bunch of good guys. They have a couple albums out, a couple EPs, and they're starting to work on some new tunes now, and they're getting ready for the tour.
That's cool.
But he also got hooked up a while back with Jamie Josta from Hickory, and Jamie gives him a lot of work, which is great.
Yeah, that's great.
Jamie solo project that's just called Josta.
Right.
And Jamie's a very active dude. He just ran the Milwaukee Metal Fest.
Yeah, that was a big deal here. Yeah.
So, and he gets all these, Jamie and friends and all-star bands together. He had Dukes from Exodus, Ripper Owens, bunch of guys, Dino from, names escape me now. But so Joey gets to play drums with all these guys.
That's cool.
He gets to go play these festivals with, all heroes of his and mine. And so, he's busy. Jamie keeps him busy doing these types of shows.
That's good.
Kirk from, Kirk Weinstein. And,
Crowbar. Yeah. Very cool. That's awesome.
So, he keeps busy. He kind of took over for me in the music business in the family, But,
oh, that's good, though. I'm glad you were able to pass that down to him.
Yeah.
Now, what sort of bass gear are you using these days, Joe? Not using the old Galen Kruger 800 RB like you used to?
Well, I haven't played out live in so long that I just have some rudimentary stuff, as far as amps go. I have a Hartke head and a couple of Hartke cabinets, nothing crazy.
That's cool.
I use a Tech 21 Sans amp for all my sound effects, and I play Fenders now.
I saw a picture of you with a Fender. I didn't know you were playing Fenders. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, I got my old Precision, which I've had for over 30 years, that's kind of a kick around bass,
Right.
But I also have a couple of Fender jazz basses that are my main basses now.
Yeah.
I still have my old Steinberger, which
I was just going to ask you if you had that, the headless. Yeah. So, that gives you a little glimpse of that interview I did with Joe. A lot of fun, cool dude, great guy, great bass player, just a good time. So you're going to get to hear the entire interview the day after this comes out as a bonus episode. All right, very good. So, Joey, what's that Lost Classic you got for us?
My Lost Classic for this week is I'm going to go back to 2004 Roadrunner Records. And it's Slipknot Volume 3, The Subliminal Verses. Dude,
now that's fucked up, dude.
Now before this week, anytime I would talk about Slipknot, I'll only mention the first 2 albums because I just love those 2. But the third one was the one that when I heard it, I was like, okay, I'm probably not going to be into this band anymore. Like Metallica's Black Album, a few albums like that for me. but it was still one that I listened to. So now when I go back and listen to it, I'm like, you know what? This whole shit's classic to me. So it really was like a lost classic for me.
That's cool. That's cool.
Right.
Very cool. All right. Well, what have we been listening to lately, Chris? What about you? What's the Shawback listening repertoire been?
So, this dude that I work with, he turned me on to something that I found very interesting. There's this dude, his name's Big Chef, but he does this cover of fucking Limp Bizkit's Break Stuff with the most guttural shit ever, dude. like the say it's like dude. It's just guttural as fuck, dude. I was checking that. I was like, okay. I mean, I like Limp Bizkit anyway. Fuck it. But dude, check that shit out. Other than that, it's just been on random, dude.
That's cool. What about you, Joey?
Listening to fucking Laz Rocket, Know Your Enemy.
Cool.
Jamming fucking what the hell else is I listening to? Oh, the new Deflowered, because I'm dropping two of their
about to drop that shit, yeah.
2 albums coming out in July for Deflowered, 2 full lengths. So I've been listening to that, fucking getting those ready for submission for press. I don't know, a lot of shit. I was listening to fucking Green Jelly a little bit. Yeah, a lot of stuff.
That's cool. I've been jamming the Bleeding, that band I've been listening to, that Monocrator, just killer. Creeping Death.
No, he's actually talking about the Five Finger Death Punch song.
Yeah, right. you know it. Creeping Death, Boundless Domain, that Ball Cutter EP from Cancer, man. I love that shit.
Yeah.
And that new Cannibal Corpse single, Bloodblind, fucking killer shit. All right, well, Chris, you got the horns next. Any idea what you're going to do?
So we're next Tuesday is the 4th, so we're not doing a fucking episode.
We're not doing anything next week at all.
And here's what's fucked up is Joey's fucking fucking Lost Classic, fucking Slipknot on Roadrunner. Because I've been thinking about I'm gonna do the fucking Roadrunner United album.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So that album is fucking badass. There's so much good shit
Do a
everywhere.
specific album.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm
All
doing
right.
that album.
All right. Very cool. I also wanted to mention that Exodus signed a deal with Napalm Records. They left Nuclear Blast. I'm not sure what the reason was for the change, but man, those guys are still putting out good stuff. The last album was killer. They definitely delivered. Gary Holt's been writing for the next album, says it's nasty shit. So I'm anxious to hear what they got. And I definitely dig some of the other bands on Napalm Records. So who knows? Maybe we'll get a chance to interview those guys. I was trying to get an interview with Tom Hunting on that last album. It didn't work out, but I'm hoping maybe I'll get a break with Napalm Records. So we'll see. All right, Joey, anything about your distro or Goremonger you wanted to put out?
Man, fucking a lot of stuff.
Damn, what happened to you, Pete? You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Fucking, but yeah,
Sorry,
a lot
Brett.
of stuff about to come out on the label. I got fucking, like I said, 2 Deflowered albums I'm gonna have fucking out in July. I got Goremonger fucking album that I'm gonna release digitally. I played 2 of the songs here on Murder Metal Mayhem called Base God, and then I'm gonna release that physically with another EP that I'm writing called Pornogram. I'm gonna release those together. So I'll be recording that. Yeah, I'm doing the Evil Dead. I'm also gonna do a couple fucking like special edition limited run releases, and one's gonna be the Evil Dead trilogy. And when I released the Horrorflix 3, I did the vocals for the 3rd Evil Dead song, but my homie Braxton from Between the Killings did the vocals on the first 2, and he just didn't have time to give me the 3rd one, but he did afterwards. So this release will have that actual song on there. So that's cool. So,
Fuck yeah.
yeah, a lot of stuff coming out.
Awesome. That's 666 Club. That's how you could support the podcast. Patreon.com/Murder Metal Mayhem. $3 a month is all it is.
Motherfucker.
That's an easy $3 there.
Just kidding.
But we get some good perks with that. So go check that out. All right. Well, we have done plenty of metal tonight. So Joey, what the fuck do we need to do?
Well, we need to get our Mayhem on, but let's not let our neighbor catch us on his camera.
Yo, it's your boy Punky Brooks, 419 represent ho in this motherfucker. Man, I'm hanging out over here in the 419 making those panties drop everywhere I go, and you know what I'm saying. Your moms won't stop calling me though. Your grandma won't stop calling me. It's summertime. Lots of these fools be out here acting like they all gangster like your boy Punky. Man, these motherfuckers is bogus. They ain't even no motherfucking real Crips. They ain't even get jumped in. I just beat their ass for the fun of it. They ain't no goddamn Crip, motherfucker. They wish they was. They just some weak ass bitches trying to be hard, but they ain't. So don't call that gang hotline. That shit is stupid. We done been through this before. Shit is suspect as fuck. All bullshit for punks who ain't got no real gang. You can't get the gang? Fuck you. You's a pussy ass bitch then. Don't be calling that a crisis hotline. Call it suicide hotline. You need to go kill yourself, pussy. Man, they can go fuck themselves. Punky the real gangster. You's a bitch. I cap your ass in a heartbeat. Brap, brap. Punky out 419 ho. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man. Some Finley gang crisis hotline. Joey killing it with that shit. Oh my God, that was so fucking funny. Great stuff.
Fresh installments. Here.
Yeah, brand new one for you there. Gotta love it. Before that, you heard some Withering Scorn and the song Dark Reflection. It's on that new album that's coming out July 7th, so don't miss that. All right, now I got two stories for Mayhem. One is short. It revolves around Goodfellas, okay? We talk about Goodfellas, but check this out. Now, anybody that's seen that movie before knows there's a famous scene where
you said it wrong. Everybody's seen that movie before. You don't understand, right?
Hey, Ray Liotta, when he takes his date through the restaurant kitchen and he's all VIP in it and stuff. Okay, you know that, all right? So I took my grandson. We had quite the day on Saturday. We went to a baseball Little League game. I took him to the batting cages. It was hot as fuck out, so we were beat. But we both were hungry, so I'm like, you know what? We're going to eat some Italian food. So we went to Lincoln, Illinois, and went to Gazzardo's, which is fucking awesome. If you're in that area, go check them out. Old school joint, okay? When you go to Gazzardo's, you enter the restaurant off this alley, and there's a door leading outside that has a sign on it that says Gazzardo's, and then underneath it says first timers enter here. So the first time I ever went there, I didn't know what was inside that door. I just saw first timers enter here. So I went in there with Alex when she was, I don't know, 6, 7 years old. We go in there and we're in the kitchen. And like, there's all these people busy and there's they cook these monster steaks there. So they do steaks and they do Italian. It's good stuff. And so they're all like, hey, you know, they're welcoming you. And I'm like, hey, I'm sorry. Did we come in? No, come on in. So like you walk through the kitchen as your first time. And so I went there with Robbie and I was telling him about this. And he's like shaking his head like he don't want any part of that. And I said, look, Robbie, if the sign is on the door, I got to take you through there. This is your first time. So we're walking down the alley. Sure enough, signs on the door. So we go in there. Same thing. They're like fist bumping him. And it was fucking awesome. We get whisked in there like VIPs and got a nice seat and had a nice meal. It was amazing. So, yeah. Love some Gazzardos. Yeah. Reminded me, though, of course, of Goodfellas.
Yeah,
all right.
That's real.
Now, my second Mayhem story, we had just recorded the bonus episode on the DUI stop, okay? About 2 days later.
Who knows that? I heard it.
Right. 2 days later, I'm watching a police body cam video of a DUI stop, and the name of the video was what made me want to watch it. I'm not going to tell you what that is yet, okay? So what happens is this woman gets pulled over, kind of typical, you know, she's arguing. She finally gets out of the car. The cop's talking to her. It's in Arkansas, I think. And the cop says, yeah, the cop says, you know, have you been drinking, you know, this whole thing. So she tells the cop, she says, I've got to poop. And the cop is like, well, you'll have time to do that when we get to the station. And she's like, no, I really have to poop. And the cop's talking to her. She pulls her fucking pants down and shits right on the side of the road. And you see it. You see it from the dash cam. You literally see the shit falling out of her ass as she shits on the ground. It's so fucking funny. And the cop is like, bro. No. What's wrong?
Hey, bro. Like, if I'm fucking talking to the cops at some point when I'm drunk and I got to piss, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go piss.
Right.
This bitch had to fucking shit.
I guess.
Got to shit.
But it was hilarious.
Bodily fucking movements do not let you stop them if you want them to. They happen.
So what does she do after she shits? She runs, and the cop is chasing her on the side of the road with fucking shitty ass, and then he's trying to cuff her, and she says, I have poop on my hand. Can I get some paper? And he's like, no, you don't have poop on your hand. He's sitting there arguing with her, and she fucking runs out. He tases her twice. Nothing happens. Still pants down around her ankles, running around. He has to tackle her down on this embankment, and he still can't get the cuffs on her.
Fly.
There were multiple cops start showing up, and it was so funny because you hear him retell the story to literally every cop that shows up. It's like 6-7 times. He talks about her shitting on the side of the road. You hear him go, hey, watch your step over there. She pooped over there. It's fucking hysterical. It's hysterical. I will have to go through my history, and I'll post this on the Facebook group.
Put the link. Yeah, put the link, dude.
Because it's fucking hysterical. But in the title, it's something about woman pooping on DUI stop or something like that. So if you can't wait to see me post this in the group, go to YouTube and type woman pooping DUI stop or something like that, and you'll find it. I guarantee you. There can't be that many women that shit in the middle of a DUI stop on YouTube, but
you would probably be surprised.
I might be surprised. Okay. So our DUI episode though, next week, it's a must listen to. It's a good one. All right. Killer cage match, guys. We got 100 objects, 100 killers fighting, and we got some listeners we want to say thank you to, Chris.
Yes, we do. Once again, we have my fucking mother. I came out of her vagina. That's my mother. We have Ethel Shawbeck, and then we have fucking Colin Rogers coming back again out the fucking woods. Get her done, son. And then we have Ray McDaddy Falls coming out.
Right? Oh, yeah. Always, man. Ray McDaddy McFalls. So we got another great matchup, though, tonight in the cage. Joey, who do we got fighting tonight?
We got fucking Jim Jones versus Elizabeth Bathory. And I was telling you guys, I'm going to hold it up for you guys to see, but I got this fucking killer magnet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet, dude.
It's the fucking symbol from the church
People's
in
Temple,
Indianapolis.
yeah.
Dude, that's fucking amazing, dude.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
We found it at that horror convention. So
That's
we
a
had to
big
get
ass
that for the
magnet,
fridge.
too.
I know,
Yeah.
it's fucking huge.
That's
but
good.
anyway, fucking, the fact that it was fucking Indianapolis, I had to fucking go.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got Jim Jones going up against Countess Elizabeth Bathory tonight.
Fuck yeah. And Chris, what about those two objects? We got a new one here. Or a couple
tonight
of new ones.
Tonight they're gonna have themselves I'm assuming it's a 5-gallon bucket, like a regular, like big ass
Right.
5-gallon bucket, full of fucking battery acid, and a gun that shoots hot, stinky piss.
Nasty.
So that's
That's rough.
like not pus, mind you.
Right, piss.
It's just
Yeah.
like
Hot
it's just
and
like
stinky.
a golden shower for days.
Yeah. So, and the
God
variable, Joey, is interesting here.
That's pretty interesting. That'd be pretty wild. This
Yeah.
old Tex, our boy Tex, who we were talking to earlier, and that's if he came all the way here to the 419 and fucking smoked out on all this fucking weed with me.
Yeah, all afternoon in the 419.
My God.
And the song playing, Balls to the Wall by Accept. Love that song.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. So we got Jim Jones and Elizabeth Bathory with a bucket of battery acid and a gun that shoots hot, stinky piss. And Tex wandering around, all eyes bloodshot after smoking weed with Joey in the 419. And Balls to the Wall is fucking cranking the fuck out. Chris, where do we go with this one?
Man, okay. So first of all, Joey and Tex, they just in the 419 sitting back like, let's watch this motherfucking party, bro. We can fucking make a podcast out of this. Let's do it. So they're just sitting back, high as fuck, and fucking. So Bathory looks at the fucking goddamn the bucket of fucking acid, and she's like, "Ooh, I could probably get these fucking girls melted down to soak into my body faster if I get that bucket of acid and throw it in my bathtub." Fucking meanwhile, Jim Jones is like fucking degrading everyone he's in control over. He's like, "Oh, that gun full of piss, golden shower everyone." So I'm gonna go with fucking this. Jim Jones just has that fucking gun full of piss, and he just starts spraying batteries. He's like, "No, leave me alone. I gotta get control of my fucking constituents." And fucking goddamn, Bathory's like, "No, go fuck you." And so she gets her fucking crew, because she's a fucking queen or whatever the fuck. She's a lady. She's got a whole cast of people. She fucking just goes out, like, "Go grab that guy and bring that bucket of piss over here." So she brings it over, or the bucket of acid. She brings it over. She's like, dumps it on there, buries Jim Jones in there. He's like, drowns him in the acid, and he just dies. And I'm giving it a Bathory. I'm drunk. My fucking computer shit got me pissed off tonight.
Yeah, understandable. Shawback Nation.
Hell yeah.
Joey, what do you think on this
Tell
one?
me a story, Joey. I would love to hear it. I'd love to hear it.
Well, you already know how it starts up whenever our Murder Mill Mayhem Killer Cage match Bose speakers are just blasting balls through the wall.
Man.
I mean, that's just fucking happening in the cage match. So as that's going on, first off, Tex is in there. Tex been hanging out with me over here in the 419, the Huntington Center. We were reliving old days on the glory field, fucking whenever we was wrestling there, fucking Killer Cage match style back in the day. And he's like, "Man, this weed is so fucking good up here, because I don't even smoke weed because I'll lose my job, but I'm so high from just being up here that fucking I need something to drink." And Tex is such a badass. He gets that fucking 5-gallon thing of battery acid, and he fucking slams it and drinks it, and it doesn't do shit because Tex is a fucking badass. He don't give a fuck about no goddamn battery acid.
Oh, damn.
So while this is going on, fucking Jim Jones is like, well, I'll tell you what, obviously fucking Bathory, you're a stupid ass bitch, so I'm just gonna fucking take this hot stinky piss gun, shove it up your snatch, and just fucking start firing. And I'm just gonna preach to you about God as I do this and fill your body with this fucking stank ass gross piss. And right before Bathory fucking dies from all the stinky gross piss going into her body, fucking Jim Jones leans over in a methed out stage and he fucking whispers in her ear. He said, bitch, all these people are fighting about Flavor Aid and Kool-Aid. It was Crystal Light, you whore. And
Oh,
that's the end of the cage match.
Oh, damn. Wow. Balls to the
Crystal
wall.
Light.
That's awesome. That's great.
That was fucking
Fuck
good,
yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
All right. That's why the fans and the listeners love that shit. A quick update on my book, Creation of Chaos 4. I got the first round of copies here. They look great.
Oh, yeah.
Ordered the bookmarks and the posters today. So I'll be getting those here in the next week and a half or so. And then the advanced orders, I'm going to start sending them out. So you can go to PeteAltieri.com to get yours while they last. I'll order more, but this first batch, I've already got quite a few advance orders. So thanks those of you that have already done that. But Amazon's raising their printing rate. So I've got a big sale going on in my bookstore now, 10 to 15% off all my books. And so after I'm out of the stock I've got, when I reorder, the prices are going to go up because Amazon's raising their prices too. So
everybody's raising their prices on everything, bro.
They are. And Amazon is also doing hardcovers. I've never thought about doing a hardcover, but that would be kind of neat to see my stuff in a hardcover. But I'm not sure how that works, if you have to run a certain number of them or not. But PeteAltieri.com is where you could do that. MurderMetalMayhem.com. I'm updating the website. I'm going to start doing some sales on there as well. So go check that out. Buy some shit. Go to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to that. We got some good content coming up on there. And love to put that shit on there. So there's plenty of stuff on there already, but we're adding more as it goes. All right, well, I think we have done plenty of mayhem tonight, guys, so I think it's time to hit the outro.
The void looks hopeless, started to give way. All the skills they lacked, let your arrows rain.
Man, some creeping death. I love that new shit. That was a song from the new album called The Parthian Shot. I think that's how you pronounce that. New album is killer, though, man. Go check that out.
Parthian.
Yeah. All right, big thanks to our buddy Tex for coming on to talk with us in the murder segment. Always love having him on. And going to be in the flesh here August 1st. Definitely pumped about that.
That's crazy.
It's going to be wild. So we're going to be doing some Heaven's Gate. That should be a great one. And so that's going to be a good time. Bumper music tonight, Joey. Who did we play?
Withering Scorn, Cannibal Corpse, and Creeping Death.
Fuck yeah. Metal segment intro, Chris.
Always fucking the great metal motherfucker by Crysis 4CK all the time.
Yes. And the Murder Metal Mayhem intro is Crawl Space by Low 12. Thank you to the listeners out there. We really appreciate it, guys. We got a few comments we want to read. This is an interesting one, Chris. What's that first one?
Oh, I love this first one. This first one makes me fucking smile.
Right.
Holy shit. Hold on. This motherfucker says Granny Penny 69 is the one that comments says, you guys fucking suck. You act like total fucking idiots, and I can't listen to you anymore.
Yeah.
Go on, get. So you didn't hear us react to your comment. I don't care.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. Granny Panty 69. Yeah, pretty good stuff. So sorry you don't like it. Whatever, dude. All right, Joey, what about that second one?
Barracuda for food. Dun, 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 Barracuda.
Right?
I love hearing those bong rips from Joey every week. I'm doing them with him. I'm baked as fuck when you guys are done. I'm a listener in Yonkers, New York.
Yonkers.
Go Yanks.
Hell yeah. Right by the Bronx. Fuck yeah. Thank you. Barracuda for food. All right. And then the third one, love this one. Robin Booty Killer comments, I'm in Denver and just heard about this podcast. I love the mix of serial killers and metal. Keep on killing it. So thank you, Robin. Appreciate that. And then Chris, how about that last one?
Hercules is a bitch. Says, hold on. Let me throw my phone closer. My eyes are bad right now. Bad. I got my contacts in. I wear bifocals. That sucks.
Yeah.
But Hercules is a bitch. Says, I'm stationed in Korea and the Army, but I'm originally from Vermont. I love hearing you guys, but it makes me miss being in the States. Horns high from the DMZ.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking right.
Hell yeah. Thanks for protecting the South Koreans there. Hercules is a bitch.
No, thanks for fucking doing what you do, and thanks for listening as well.
Yeah, thanks, dude. We appreciate that very much. Pick up a copy of one of my books on my website. Like I said, I got that store or that sale going in the store, so check it out. You can advance order Creation of Chaos Volume 4. Got some good perks when you do that. Check the episode description for a link. MurderMetalMayhem.com as well, our website. Got a good web store there. You can buy 2 different shirts and our stickers, activity book. Joey's distro, link to that in the episode description. So, Joey, anything you got going on, people can get a hold of you that way.
Absolutely. Keep an ear out for that new Deflowered out of Texas and Goremonger out of Ohio.
Yes.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. And like us on Facebook, we're on Horns High Studios there because they kicked our asses out. We do have a group, though. And follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Shane is going to start handling the Twitter stuff for us. So we'll be more present there. So that's cool. Shane's going to help us out. I got to get him the login and all that stuff so he can handle it. So that'll be great. Get a little bit, maybe some people that don't know about Murder Metal Mayhem to check us out. Support the show. Join that 666 Club, patreon.com/Murder Metal Mayhem. I'll link to that in the episode description. Got a karaoke song for you, a little blast from the past. So crank this shit up. And until next time, keep one foot in the gutter.
Don't kill your fucking family.
Every breath you take, every move you make, every bond you break, every step you take, I'll be watching you. Every single day, every word you say, every game you play, every night you stay, I'll be watching you. Oh, can't you see you belong to me? And my poor heartaches with every step you take, every move you make, every vow you break, every smile you fake, every claim you stake, I'll be watching you. Since you're gone, I've been lost without a trace. I dream at night and can only see your face. I look around, but it's you I can't replace. I feel so cold and I long for your embrace. I keep crying, baby, baby, baby. every step you take, I'll be watching you. I'll be watching you.
Every breath you take, every move you make, every bond you break, every
I'll be watching you.
every word you say, every game you play, every
I'll be watching you.
every vow you break, every smile you fake, every
I'll be watching you.
every word you say, every game you play, every
I'll be watching you.
you take, every move you make, every bond you break, every
I'll be watching you.
every word you say, every game you play, every
I'll be watching you.
every vow you break, every smile you fake, every game you say, every single day, every word you say,
Mother, man.